Ruel, stop playing.
Dino. Dolo. I'ma teach the gospel till they have to come and kill me. I say I'ma teach the gospel to the world and they kill me. I'ma teach the gospel, hope my people really feel me. I hope they really feel me. I can see everyone that's trapped inside idolatry. You can tell, you get talked about without material. Y'all too cold to y'all brother, y'all venereal. Straight sweeps 12 outside, they like beat beat. Put you on a curb, nightstick, they try to beat me. Running too fast, road runner, I'm like me. He's all here selling fairy tales, he like Tinkerbell. Take your finger out your butt, now how your fingers smell. People want support, but want support, get it out my face. The Lord, they made a covenant with the flesh, now how that rainbow tastes. I had to separate myself, the world not my place. Oh, Israel, wake up, let's get it out the way. Oh, Israel, wake up to the words of Yah. Better follow them commandments or you fence to die. I could read it straight up out the Bible, I ain't gotta lie. That is something you can't really hide or you can't deny. That is something I take to court and I testify. They got Twitter fingers on that phone, they like tweet.
Do your people descend from?
I have no idea.
You have no idea, right? You know why it's important to know where you came from?
Oh, talk about it. Uh-oh. Yeah, the wind. Yeah, the wind.
You know why it's important though? Yeah, you heard of Superman, right?
Huh?
You heard of Superman, right?
What?
You got, see, that's why you gotta come closer, brother. I'm not gonna bite you.
No, I gotta go.
Where you gotta go?
Huh?
Where you gotta go?
Just
Alright, see, you come closer, brother. I wanna have a dialogue with you. We're doing anything else in our day. You can't take 2 steps, brother. Alright, 2 steps. Alright, all three.
Yeah.
So you heard of Superman, right? The fictional character? So Superman, at a certain point in time, he didn't know his identity. He didn't know what he was capable of. But until it was shown to him, and he became mighty, right? He understood his work. He understood how to move and operate. Until we know who we are, we can't really operate in a righteous spirit. You understand? A lot of us don't know who we are, so we call ourselves black, African-American, niggas, monkeys, boomers, Crips, Bloods, city boys, city girls, right?
Yeah.
Those derogatory terms are the result of not knowing who you are. Every other race on earth, they know who they are, right? Asian man knows who he is. Every man knows his language. Asian man, he knows his culture. But what do we know? Nothing. Don't you want to know the reason why? Surely there has to be a reason. Must be. What's your name, brother?
Junior.
You said Jordan?
Junior.
Junior?
Yeah.
Junior, do you believe in the Bible? You do? Clap it up for that, brother. All praises. Now, a lot of people, they don't believe it. Right? But you do. And that's beautiful. That's a big start. So we're going to show you something out the Bible. All right? This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15. All right? You familiar with Moses? Remember how he led his people out of Egypt? All right.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 15.
Now this is Moses. He's speaking to the children of Israel. All right? Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day.
Right? You listening? Go ahead. Go read it again, King.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Right? If you don't listen to the voice of the Lord your God, go ahead.
to observe to do all his commandments
Go ahead.
and his statutes which I command thee this day,
Go ahead.
that all these curses,
All these what?
that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses,
All these curses. Junior, isn't a curse a terrible thing?
I've dated before. To keep it real.
It's awful. If I say, hey, your dog is cursed, you understand that, hey, something bad happened. So us as a nation, where the Israelites continue to read their cursed, something bad is going to happen to us, right? A whole nation. It's going to get real specific, real descriptive. Let's continue.
that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right?
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
This nation, Israel, will be cursed in the city. So I have to ask you, Junior, because this is a prophecy what we're reading, and they apply to a certain group of people today. Which people would you say are cursed and or afflicted in the city? they don't look to afflict the Jews. I mean, they're living pretty comfortable. They don't have to get worried. They don't have to worry about getting stabbed in the streets. They don't have to worry about getting high on coke.
Right.
So we're afflicted in the streets and in the cities, as the scripture says. All right? Let's continue.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city,
Not only will you be cursed in the city, but where else?
and cursed shalt thou be in the field.
But cursed shalt thou be in the field. Right? Junior, what other nation was cursed in the field? What nation was cursed in the field in history? You said what? A nation. Yeah, what group of people was cursed in the field? Let me ask you this. What people was raped, robbed? Hold on. What people was raped, robbed, lynched, and murdered in his field? Us. Or this Asian man behind you? Was it the Asian man or the white man? That's what was it.
Right.
What we just read to you are two curses that apply to us. Bring out verse 68.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse number 68.
Go ahead.
And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again.
He shall bring you where?
And Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt
He's
again.
going to bring you into Egypt again. Egypt has a special meaning. Egypt means slavery, captivity. You listening?
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
Right. Julia, how did our ancestors make it to America?
Get to America.
Yeah. And what mode of transportation?
Bus.
You came to America by bus?
Well, I was born here.
Let me ask you this. How did you get your last name?
I mean, wow.
What's your last name? If you don't mind me asking? Brandon? Ratley?
Yeah.
Is that a language of the Europeans? Ratley? Yeah. That came from our slave owners, right? The so-called white man. Where did this so-called white man get the so-called black man? From the west coast of Africa. But how did they get there? They got there by boats. And he brought us here by boats. What we're explaining to you is a curse that applies to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Go ahead.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Lord said you're going to go into Egypt or a bondage or captivity again, but how are you going to get there?
With ships.
With ships. So we came here with ships, right? It wasn't a party yacht. We came here as slaves. Go ahead.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
Right? And we haven't seen our homeland again because we've been here forever.
Right.
That's why we don't know who we are. Go ahead.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Right? And there in this foreign land, in this land of bondage, you will be sold into your enemies. For what?
For bondmen and bondwomen.
Right? Slave man and slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
And no man's going to redeem you after that captivity.
Right.
Because obviously somebody's going to sell you. That makes somebody else going to buy you, right?
God.
But that word, last word, buy means to redeem. No man's going to redeem you out of that captivity. So which nation today, which group of people, which race can say that they experienced that? Our people, right?
Right.
So who is Moses speaking to then?
Book of Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord Yahweh commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Moses is speaking to the children of Israel. That's the audience.
Right.
So when he said you're going to be cursed in the city and the field, and you're going to come to Egypt again by boats and sold into your enemies, which race today does that apply to? Us, right? So that'll make us super important to the Bible. Hold on, brother. Where you going? Look, bring out Isaiah. You bring out Isaiah 1 and 3.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib.
Right?
But Israel doth not know.
But who?
But Israel doth not know.
Israel don't know who they are. You don't know, right? It is not like we're shaming you that you don't know. I mean, that's the result of slavery. Your ancestors are the result of slavery and 400 years being oppressed in the society, right? You're saying you're black because of so-called white woman. You're saying you're African American because of so-called white man.
God.
You're saying you're a nigga because of this society and what they put upon you.
Bring it over.
Go ahead.
My people doth not consider.
Neither do they consider. Israel, you have so much potential. You have so many resources to find out who you are. Yet you don't consider. But you rather follow the ways of the so-called white man.
Right.
That's a damn shame. You have all the information you need, of course, in the Bible, chiefly. But as for secondary resources, all the information in your phone.
All right.
Jay could be Googling, well, who are the real Jews? Well, who am I really? How do we get to America? Where do my people come from?
Right.
But the main thing they Google is what? How to be a pimp. How do I roll a blunt? How do I get women? How do I get fame and fortune and become like the so-called white man?
All right.
How do I learn how to bet and gamble and fiddle with the mic and become the best of the best superstar? Our people don't know what they want. They don't know what they need. That's why we have to guide them through the spirit of power. Yahweh Shemar. Bring it out again, King.
I was going to say, real quick point. One of the top searches on Google for the last 2 years has been how to make $1 million. Nobody wants to figure out, all right, what's my nationality? You know, who is my God? Nothing. They want to learn how to make $1 million.
Wow. Can you bring out Sirach 31 and 1? How to make $1 million. How to get rich. I mean, the dollar's crumbling. Right? You have the term of the de-dollarization. So your money is going to last too long. Your money is going to last as long as Esau lives, which is very short. Right? His time is cut in half. Work it out.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse number 1.
Hey, brother, you got a minute for the Bible? You said what? Where? Lying, man. Just lying. I'd rather have you say no than just lie. Go ahead, King.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 31 and verse number 1. Watching for riches consumeth the flesh.
Watching for riches consumeth the flesh. You watching that nasty ass green and red line going up and down the stocks, waiting for fortune and fame. That's wicked. That's not going to last you too long. Go ahead.
And the care thereof driveth away sleep.
Right, you caring for your money. I need this. I need the new chain. I need my J's. I want all these things. You just want riches, man.
Right.
And let me tell you something. This is James, like in Matthew the 4th chapter, all over again. Except Israel, you gave in to the Satan. You gave in, right? You fell for your temptations. Can you hold that and bring out Matthew 4 and 1? Yahushua, he rebuked the temptation.
Sure.
He said, hey, well, we're going to bring it out, but nonetheless, we know that he rebuked it. Go ahead.
Book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse 1, and it reads, Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness.
Into the where?
Into the wilderness.
And America's in the wilderness. America's a dry land. We thirst here.
Right.
We're thirsty. There's no true living waters here. Go ahead.
Led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
Right?
And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward in hunger. And when the tempter came to him, He said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread.
Right? Go ahead.
But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone,
Right.
but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh.
Yeah, that's plain. You're not going to tempt the Lord.
God.
Right? We're going to follow all the commandments to the best of our ability. We will also follow the precepts. We won't follow Esau. We won't follow the traditions of this world. We're not following Cinco de Mayo. Right? We're not following the other vain philosophies. Go ahead. Continue.
Verse 5. This is the Bible. I'm at verse 5 now.
Start from the sword. You got it, King.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 4, and verse number 5. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down.
He said, what?
Cast thyself down.
Right, he's tempting him back and forth, back to back to back. Now you have to understand, Satan, he's not going to tempt you with something that, whatever he tempts you with is going to be different than the next brother.
Right.
You understand? He may tempt you with woman. He's going to tempt the next brother with wine. He may tempt the next brother with anything. There's no telling. But understand this. Hey, Israel is tempted. Just like it, Satan is tempting Israel day by day. And he falls short to him. Hey, brother, what's your nationality? Hey, brother, why you ignoring your people? You only got 1 minute for the Lord? Not 1 minute. Wow. It's a damn shame, man.
Christianity did a good job.
Yeah, he did a hell of a job, man. Esau don't even got to do that no more. Esau did his job. So every time you see your brothers having evil eyes towards each other, that's by the hands of Esau. But he don't gotta kind of, come to us and whisper in our ear no more. We just do it by nature. Because we've been molded to however he wanted us to be. Right? Not anymore, of course. Because the truth let us free. Go ahead.
Verse number 6, and saith unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down. For it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee. And in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone.
And what's really important about this, when you really read this, you come to find out that Satan is going to start small, right? He's going to tempt you with small things. First, he started off with the bread, and it was about being in the temple, and it's about having the whole world. It just gets bigger and bigger. So when you rebuke demons, they're going to come at you stronger and stronger. That's the lesson that we can learn from this. Right? He's going to continue to tempt you with things bigger and bigger and bigger. Go ahead.
Verse number 7, Yahweh Shah said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God.
Right? And it's Satan rebuking him. Look, you can't tempt the Lord, you can't tempt the Lord. Go ahead.
Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and sheweth him all the kingdoms of the world.
Hold up, it just started with the bread. Now it's with all the kingdoms of the world.
Right.
So again, it's multiple layers in this chapter, right? For those that have ear, let them hear. Because again, it started with bread, it started with something light. You may rebuke a light demon, but guess what? You're going to have bigger demons that come down the path, right? You may say, oh, that was easy to rebuke. Obviously, I'm not going to steal or lie. That's easy. But hold up, brother. Sin got something else. Are you going to be able to rebuke that demon in the same spirit that you rebuked the previous one? Or are you going to fall short? Go ahead.
It reads, and the glory of them, and saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me.
Right, first of all, you can have this, I can give you that. Say, hey, I give you everything. Right, just fall down and worship. Right, that's how certain brothers fall out the truth. Can you bring out Sirach 19 and verse 1? That's how a lot of brothers fall out the truth. Right? You let that one demon get you, guess what? You gonna let the other demon get you. And the other demon. And the other demon. Go ahead.
Book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 1. A laboring man is given to drunkenness. A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich. And he that contendeth small things shall fall by little and little.
Right, if you contempt, in other words, if you disregard the little things, it's going to make you fall little by little by little.
Right.
Oh, it's not that bad if I kind of go to the gym on the Sabbath. Oh, it's not that bad if I kind of, I'm just cooking some eggs.
Right.
It's just eggs.
That's that just this one time spirit.
Just this one time. One time. It takes one time for a man to fall. Right? It don't take 10 times for a man to trip. It takes one time. All it takes is that one pepper, that one shoelace that's not tied. That's all it takes.
Right.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Matthew chapter 4 and verse number 9. It saith unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then saith Yahushua to him, get thee hence, Satan.
What he say?
Get thee hence, Satan.
What do you have to tell these spirits?
Get thee hence, Satan.
Go ahead.
For it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve.
So if you're dealing with that pride demon, that lust demon, that doubt demon, you gotta say, get thee hence, Satan. You can't just think it. You gotta actually say these words. You have to say it. Go ahead.
Reading on verse number 11. Then the devil leaveth him.
Then he what?
Then the devil leaveth him.
Then the devil leaveth him. The devil leaveth him. That's mighty. You have to remember these things. The Lord gave us power through the Spirit.
Right.
All right? Hey, bring out Luke, the 10th chapter, Bible Sure. Luke chapter 10. Start at verse 1.
There's a little more on this.
Okay, you got it.
And it reads, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him.
That's beautiful. Once he rebuked these spirits, and the angels came to him.
Right.
So the next time, you're feeling tempted, you gotta rebuke these spirits. Don't just think the Lord's not with you, you're just saying it idly. And the Most High is hearing you. Bring out 1 Samuel chapter 1, verse 8. For those who think, may have doubt in their mind, the Lord's not listening, and He is listening. Go ahead.
It's the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 1 and verse 8. Then said Elkanah, her husband, to her, Hannah, why weepest thou? And why eatest thou not? And why is thy heart grieved?
Right, so her heart is grieved. She's going through a lot of emotional things. Right? She can't have no kids. A lot of hell is going on. Go ahead.
Am not I better to thee than 10 sons?
Am I not better than thee than 10 sons? And another note, this is a husband giving his wife exhortation and encouragement. Can you bring out Ephesians 5 and 22? Brothers may have trouble, comforting their wife. This precept allows you to understand it's okay to be sweet with your wife. It's okay to be delicate with her. Right? It's okay to be smooth with her.
Brother want to know what we got to do as an Israelite.
What do you have to do as an Israelite? Come here. Come closer. You married, brother?
My girlfriend right now. I have a conversation with her.
All right, bring this up, man. Ephesians 5 and 22. It's a different thing.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 5 and verse 22.
Bring it out.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your husbands.
Right, as Israelites, the wives have to submit themselves to the husbands. Go ahead.
As unto the Lord.
Go ahead.
Verse 23. For the husband is the head of the wife.
He's the what?
He is the head of the wife.
He's the head of the wife. Go ahead.
Even as Christ is the head of the church, and He is the Savior of the body. Verse 24, therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be their own husbands in everything. Be to their own husbands everything.
Right? So as Israelites, if you have a wife in a household, you have to let your wife know how to be in order. You have to tell her, hey, it's literally things you can do, some things you can't do. You have to be the one in charge through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, let the scriptures guide you to tell her what you can and can't do according to the scriptures. Right? And not only that, you have to examine yourself and make sure you're guiding your household in leadership, in equity, and in fairness, and in love, and sincerity. And that means wearing fringes. You heard about the fringes?
Not much. I've heard a little bit of it.
So that means we gotta wear the fringes. We gotta grow out our beard. We can't buy anything Friday and Saturday. You can't just go home and say, hey, wife, make me a sandwich. I'm an Israelite. gotta examine yourself first too. You know.
What's that?
So what's your nationality?
I said Israelite.
You're Israelite? You buy that today? What's that?
Comics.
Huh?
Comics.
You bought that today?
Yep.
It's a Sabbath day. It's a Sabbath day.
Pretty comfortable day.
Oh, brother, that's your own question.
Hey, look.
Oh, ain't no, hold on, brother.
Hey, look, I'm an artist myself.
Hold on, you gonna tell the Lord, look. You gonna tell that to the Lord, yeah, look, Lord, you know.
Hey, look, check this out. I love y'all.
Hold up, you love, hold on.
Love y'all.
Wait a minute. What's love?
Hey, man, whatever I got right now.
Nah, brother, that's not what love is, brother. You love God?
Of course I do.
What does it mean to love God?
Everything you are?
No, you gotta love him by keeping the commandments, right?
Right, yeah.
So what did the Lord say in Nehemiah 10:15? You remember? One verse. Bring it out, King. Nehemiah 10:15. Let's find out how we love the Lord.
That's the
Even
book.
on the Sabbath day. Go ahead.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 10, and verse number.
Oh, Slack it. Bring out Nehemiah 13 to 10.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, and verse number 10.
Yeah, that's it.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13, and verse 10. And I perceived that the portions of the Levites had not been given them, for the Levites and the singers that did the work were fled everyone to his field.
Right, this is what we want. Bring it up.
The book of 1 John, chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we what?
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. So what does it say in Exodus 28, going down? It teaches about the Sabbath day and how to keep it, right?
Yeah.
So what can't we do on the Sabbath? And what can't we do on the Sabbath, right? So let's bring it up. Bring out Exodus 28. If you said you love God, we're going to show you how to properly love God.
Book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 8, and it reads, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
To what?
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not do any work.
Right. You can't do no work today, brother. It's the Sabbath day. You're supposed to give your body rest. I'm sure you worked all week, right?
Actually, I'm not working currently right now.
Go ahead.
Now, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates.
Right, so you can't do no manner of work today. Neither can you indulge in your own pleasures.
Oh, I am indulging my own pleasure.
You say you
I am. I'm reading these comics.
Bring out Isaiah.
I gotta go. I love you.
Hold up, brother.
Gotta go, man.
You can't love us if you're not keeping the commandments.
Hold on, brother. Give him one more step.
I'm gonna go. I'm on the phone.
Brother, you're the man, brother. Tell her I'm the man. Brothers don't believe it.
You gonna choose a woman over the Lord?
Kids too, me too.
Yeah, brother. Speak up for that. Bro, what's your nationality, brother?
Israelite.
Israelite? That's right. Okay, all praises. What you know about it?
I know today the Sabbath day.
Okay, all praises. You knew what was out here today? You know what's gonna be out here today?
But I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of them. A lot of us.
Okay, all praises. You got some fringes by chance at the crib, or you need some fringes? So we need some. Okay, all praises. See you to come out. Bring out Sirach 6 and 7. Look at Sirach chapter 6, verse 7.
It's all right. Chapter 6 and verse 7, and it reads, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Right, likewise, you want to prove us as well. You know, so before we exchange anything, it's good to prove a friend. We don't be hasty to credit anybody so fast, or whether they know they're Israelites or not. They should use some wisdom and discernment, right? And that's wise. Read up here.
Verse 8. Verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first.
Right. But how do you prove a friend exactly? What does it mean to prove a friend?
I say you gotta look at them as mirror image.
As what?
Mirror image.
That's one step. That's a way. That's a start, right? So bring out Exodus, like you bring out 1 John 1:1.
The book of 1 John, chapter 4 and verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit,
Right?
but try the spirits, whether they are of God. Because many false prophets are gone out into the world.
Right, so we got to try the spirits. Right, so that means we got to have a dialogue, make sure we're on the same accord. Maybe you think, now I'm not saying you think this, but some brothers, they may say, you know, you only wear the fringes on the Sabbath. You can only wear them on Tuesday or Wednesday. I can eat pork. Some brothers think that in the truth.
Definitely ain't pork.
That's right. So what other things that we can and can't eat?
Lamb.
Can we eat it?
I say you can't do lamb.
Can't eat lamb?
I ask you for it.
Oh, yes. No, we can eat lamb. We gotta eat it for the Passover, right?
All I really know is pork and bottom feeders.
Okay, we're gonna bring it out. Bring out Leviticus 11:1.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11. Right, and verse number 1. And Yahweh spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth.
Right? Out of all the beasts of the earth, this is the animals that you can't eat. What? Go ahead.
Whatsoever parteth the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat.
Right. So if it has these three attributes, then it's good to eat. Go ahead.
Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof. As the camel,
As the what?
as the camel,
So we can't eat camel. Go ahead. Some people eat camel bites. It's nasty as hell, but we don't eat it. Go ahead.
because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
Right.
He is unclean unto you.
Go ahead.
And the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof.
And I believe the coney is a rodent. Go ahead.
He is unclean unto you. And the hare, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean unto you.
That's a rabbit. Go ahead.
And the swine,
And the what?
and the swine, because he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you.
Right. So lamb and sheep, they're clean. They're good for consumption. We're gonna prove it to you. Bring out. You can start with Matthew 10 and 6. Matthew 10 and 6. You can bring out Jeremiah 15 and 6. Can you bring out Micah 2 and 12?
That's the book of Matthew, chapter 10 and verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Lost who?
To the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
So Israel, it's like the Most High is calling Israel sheep. Right? He's referring to us as sheep. He's not going to refer to us as an unclean animal. He
Right.
can if he wants. But that's just more proof in the pudding to let you know that sheep are clean. They're pure. Go ahead.
Verse number 7. And as ye go, preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
That's clean. You got yours? Got it.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 50 and verse 6.
Bring it out.
My people have been lost sheep.
Lost what?
Lost sheep.
Lost what?
Lost sheep.
Go ahead.
Their shepherds have caused them to go astray.
Right, we're being referred to as sheep again. Sheep is clean. We got one more for you.
You broke the commandments, right?
You said what?
You said that because you broke the commandments, right?
Right.
All right, I appreciate your bio. Get some water. I'm
Hold on.
dehydrated.
You about to buy some?
I ain't about to buy none, but get some.
Where you gonna get some?
Right there.
Where's there?
Bowen.
Roasting plant. Right there. See it?
You gotta buy it? Oh, you got water fountain in there? That's right.
Somebody got some water for the brother?
That's water for you, brother. This is the water.
Water.
I'll be back.
coming back?
I ain't going nowhere. I'll be back.
All right, okay.
I appreciate y'all.
Israel kind of, here and there. least you know, Lord willing, you know, we're going to come stronger in this thing. Stronger to the fold. Alright? You bring up yours. Back to 12.
Israel, I will put them together as the sheep of Basra.
As the sheep of Basra, still being referred to as sheep in the scriptures. Esau's referred to as unclean animals, right? He's that serpent. You can't eat serpents. Right? My uncle ate serpents, he had a damn stroke. He got judged. My grandfather ate serpents and armadillos. He got jammed up. Right? So we're the clean, we're the pure, we're the sheep according to the scriptures. Alright? Bring out Proverbs 31. And being a clean animals, hey, we gotta live by the word of God because the word of God is pure.
That's right.
They clean beings. 9 times out of 10. What does the cow eat? He eats grass. Right? What does the deer eat? The deer eats berries and grass.
Check out these signs.
Go ahead.
She said she inquired about her nationality, but she don't have long. Alright, she was about to give you a couple scriptures, right? And you see about today. Alright, so
All praises. So you know about the Israelites?
I've heard. Yeah, I've heard, but I've heard.
Where'd you hear about it?
I'm from a friend.
And they bring out the scriptures to you? They break it down?
They didn't do that.
Bring out Proverbs.
Israelite brother.
Bring out Proverbs 3 and 5. You bring out Sirach 17 and 11. Alright, so what we're doing right here is letting our people know their real identity, their real nationality. Right, at a certain point in time, right, we'll call ourselves black, African American, niggas, so on and so forth. So we're going to show you some verses. Bring it up.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 3 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding.
So do you believe in the Bible? You didn't sound too confident. You believe in God, and then you got to trust in the Bible. Right? Listen, give us a word. Bring out Proverbs 4 and 1.
Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 1. And it reads, Hear ye, children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding.
The only way we can get true understanding is by opening up the Bible.
That's right.
If you have a precept, you have one.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 17 and verse 11. Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
Who is the law given to? This place, right? He gave them what?
Beside this, he gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance.
He gave them knowledge and the law of life for inheritance. We find the law in the Bible. So this is our heritage. This is where we get true understanding. This is where we find wisdom. Go ahead.
Book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 20. The fear of the Lord is all wisdom.
Is what?
It's all wisdom.
Go ahead.
And in all wisdom is the performance of the law.
That's playing my tables.
How many gods are there?
This is the book of Sirach. This is in the Bible, 1611. Now you got the 1611, right? And in this, you have the missing books, so-called missing, that the European church took out. They took it out, parts of the church took out because it's against with their doctrine. It's against their beliefs. It actually condemns them. That's one of the reasons why they took it out. So we have it now, and the Lord never really done away with it. It's always been here since the beginning, right? Even prior to 1611, right? So let's bring out Deuteronomy 28. But first, can you bring out Revelation 3 and 20? You get Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15 by Bashar. You get Revelation 3 and 20 first.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse number 20.
You believe in Christ? You know what color he is? Well, your assumption. Oh, who brought out Proverbs 3 and 5? You don't want to lean upon your understanding. Your assumption may be right, but nevertheless, that's what we still got to kind of ask. So, what color would you say it is? Alright, you're right. He's so-called black. Okay. The assumption is right. You got it.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 verse 20. Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
What'd he say?
Behold, I stand at the door and knock.
Come closer, brother. This for you too. What he said?
Behold, I stand at the door and
No,
knock.
this is Christ speaking. He said, behold, I stand at the door and knock. Right? The doors are mine. He's knocking. Right? In other words, he's reaching out to you. He's calling upon you. Go ahead.
If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him and he with me.
And he with me. I'm knocking, but will you open the door? Can we have a dialogue? Can I teach you something? That's how the Lord is coming to us. Does that make sense? So let's bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 15. So this is one of the first knocks, right? This book, Deuteronomy. This is how he reaches out to us. Bring it up, man.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 58, and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the book.
Slide here. Let's get some context. Let's bring out Deuteronomy 1 and 1. Let's get context, find out who Moses is speaking to. Right? There's an audience, and there's all 9 times out of 10. You got it.
In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto who?
All
So
Israel.
everything we read hereafter is still going to be pertaining to Israel. So let's jump back forward to Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Right? That thou is still Israel. Go ahead.
to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day,
If you don't keep these commandments, go ahead.
that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses,
All these what?
All these curses.
All these curses. What's your name, sister? Stacy. Is it curse? Yeah, we did too. Curse is a bad thing. Go ahead.
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So a curse, a negative thing, a dark cloud, for lack of better words, is going to overtake you. Go ahead.
16. Cursed shall thou be in the city.
So he's still speaking to Israel. He said, look, as a nation, you will be cursed in the city. Which people today are cursed in the city? Us, right? So this is a prophecy. Now, some other nation, a white man can say, well, I'm cursed because I had bad luck in life and whatever. Well, he can say that, okay? But there's more curses. And he's not, at that, he's still not as cursed as us. Yeah, you know, he can't say he's shot down by the police and, you know, so on and so forth. Go ahead.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
Not only will you be cursed in the cities, but you will be cursed in the fields. Who's cursed in the field? It's us. There's no time period in history you can say he was cursed in the field. If you look at these pictures, I don't see not one white person. We spoke to a guy yesterday. He said, well, I've seen white people lunch. I said, show me some pictures. Let's just say he couldn't find it. His phone died while he was trying to look for it. Go ahead.
It's a precept, the book of Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 5. The book of Psalms, chapter 73, verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men.
Right, so that they is referring to the other nations, specifically the so-called white man. Have you ever seen him in troubles and perils like us? When you see him walk downtown, he's happy. He don't gotta look like this. Yeah, he don't gotta kind of be on 10. Kind of chilling. He's relaxed. Even with the Asian man, the Arabic man, the East Indian man, they're living a life of luxury. Look at those people back there. His hands in his pockets. I can't walk with my hands in my pockets. I don't got that luxury. You know, I gotta walk with my hands like this.
They might still say that's aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I was just saying all.
So you cursed either way.
All the way. Yeah.
So with that, we can bring it back to Deuteronomy. You can bring out verse 47. We got a few more curses. Three more.
I got time for one more. No.
One more?
Yeah.
Two more?
One.
You said two? Okay, all right. Verse 47.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies,
Still speaking of Israel, you're going to serve your enemies, right?
which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
And where?
In hunger.
Where did we go to when we was hungry in the fields in slavery? Where did we go to that? Yeah, what group of people? When we was hungry, which nation, which race did we go to get food? They had to provide for us.
You have to be master.
So-called white man, right? Go ahead.
And in thirst.
And it's thirst, same thing when it was thirsty. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
And even if they didn't have no clothing, they had to go to so-called master, right? So today, when you're hungry, thirsty, and naked, where do you go to? You go to the stores owned by us, or not owned by us, right? So even today, 400 years later, there's nothing new under the sun, like the scriptures say. We still go to the so-called white man. Everything we're wearing, we got from him. Nike, Adidas. We're thirsty. Sprite, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, so on and so forth. So I gotta ask you this question, Stacey. Does the so-called white man fit what we just read? In other words,
Things happening for white man.
what about the Arab man? Asian man? East Indian man? Right. So all praise, clap it up for the sisters. Right, that's mighty, that's beautiful. So with that being said, who is Moses speaking to? He's speaking to the Israelites. That makes us the Israelites. Because we went through that and we're still going through it. So this is one more verse. One more. Verse 68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
You know,
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right? Egypt means captivity, slavery, bondage, servitude. When you read in Exodus 20 and 2, right? Go ahead.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
We came here to America by boats. It wasn't a bus. It wasn't an airplane. We didn't swim. Right? Bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 68. You got it.
With ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more
We
again.
haven't seen our homeland.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Right? And there in that foreign land, you will be sold into your enemies, the same enemies you have to go to on all things, which would be the so-called white men, right? Go ahead.
For bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
No man's going to redeem, neither will they deliver you out of that captivity. That's certain bondage. So who did that happen to? Us. So the audience is Israel. But if our ancestors would do that, the eternal kind of would do that. So that'll make us Israelites.
So then what is the end game? I mean, you know what I'm saying? So we recognize that.
So what?
If you say we recognize that nothing's changed under the sun for 100 years.
Well, you know what we haven't done since.
So we recognize that, okay, that is us, but what is that? I guess that's the problem I have with the scripture. It's just like, so what is that? How does that help us?
Well, let me ask you this. How did you fall? How did we fall?
I guess because we're all from sin.
From sin, right? And what's sin according to the Bible?
You said what is sin?
Yeah. Let me show you. Sin according to the Bible. All right, we got you.
I did.
Bring it up, King.
But let's see, I gotta see if I can move fast.
All right, we got you. You said what sin? We're gonna break it down.
this is the book of 1 John chapter 3 verse 4.
It's the only way you can help yourself is by knowing how you feel or how you hurt yourself. Right, go ahead.
Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
Whoever committed sin also transgressed the law. So we sinned against our Heavenly Father by transgressing the commandments He gave to us. But do our people know the commandments? No, not really. Our people don't know that you can't eat pork.
Right.
That you can't eat shrimp, crab, lobster, oysters, crustaceans, among many other abominable things. They don't know that you can't break the Sabbath day. They don't know that you can only have one God. It's a lot of things our people don't know that we have to tell them. And we tried everything else. You know well as anybody. We tried petitions, we tried marching, we tried going door to door, we tried being in politics. We tried everything under God's green earth except for keeping the commandments.
Alright.
So that's where the key is when it comes to that. Because guess what?
Old Testament.
You said what?
Following the Old Testament.
Following the Old Testament? Well, Christ taught the law.
Yeah.
So bring out.
That's true. No, I know, yeah.
So you know he was teaching the law. Even in Luke 6, he kept the Sabbath day. You know the law wasn't done away with. He tells us in Matthew 5th chapter.
Right.
So the only thing that's temporarily ceased is the sacrificial animals. We're not sacrificing animals, right? We don't do that because Yahushua, he's our sacrificial lamb. Everything else we have to keep to the T to the best of our ability. Now we may fall short, but that's where grace comes in. And although we may have grace, I mean we can't still willful. That's Romans 6:1. Right? So I can't abuse the grace and say, well, I got grace. You know, that's like tearing Christ down on the cross and then putting him back on there. That's disrespectful. So with that, you know you're an Israelite, but you know what Israelite women are supposed to wear according to the Bible? Deuteronomy 25, did nobody ever brought that out to you?
No, I mean, I read the Bible, but I don't know.
That's okay. So in Acts, the 8th chapter, it tells us the man that was reading the book of Isaiah, and Philip ran to him and said, you know what you're reading? Right, so we can have a lot of books that don't mean people don't understand. We need teachers that's life. Everything in life, we have to be taught. So bring it out, Deuteronomy 25.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 5, the woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Right?
Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
And a garment is attire, right? So a man can't put on something that belongs to a woman, vice versa. What naturally belongs to a woman in terms of garments and dresses. So if you see a man in a dress, what the hell's going on, right? Would you want your husband to be wearing a dress? No. You're not going to feel protected. So what's something you wear that you're not supposed to wear?
I mean, well, it could be considered pants. But then I just came from teaching workout class, so I'm not going to teach a workout class.
Hold on, sis. I'm glad you said that. There's a lot of sisters in the truth. You got sisters over there, they wearing dresses. And they wear dresses even when they work out. Hey, you got Arabic sisters, they wear dresses in workout. So it's possible. Nothing is impossible. Yeah.
I guess to show them the moves, how would I show it with my cover?
What type of workout is this?
I mean, it's a woman.
They get the idea.
They assume, like, I think she bent her knee. No, just
yes.
okay.
You can walk them through it too.
Okay.
You know, you're an orator, so you can say you bend your knees at a 90-degree angle, whatever the case may be. You know, there's always a, there's a will, there's a way, as they say.
Yeah, okay, I bet y'all past my time.
All right, where you about to go? You about to go to work?
Oh, no, I just came from workout class.
Oh, you know you can't work on the Sabbath, right?
Oh, well, that's not a work though. That's not work. That's workout.
Working out. That's like you doing homework. I can't do no work.
Well, that's something for me. That's something like a thing that gives me joy and gives me peace.
Let me ask you this: when was the last time you read the scriptures?
Oh, that's been a while.
See, so you got all these upcoming Sabbaths to kind of sit down and know the Lord. You love Him, right?
Yeah.
So don't you want to know somebody that you love? I can't say I love my wife and not take her out, not to get to know her. I got to get to know her.
That's right.
Wait, what do you like, baby? Oh, you don't like this? I didn't know. I'm glad we're talking.
Okay.
So, you know, when you got the Sabbath day to sit with the Lord. Oh, you like this, Lord? Oh, I didn't know. Oh, you don't like that? Okay. So, I mean...
I do appreciate it. I do.
All right.
It gave me a lot to think about.
All right, all praises.
Okay, thank
You
you.
Israelite, you got to get the family.
Okay, thank you.
All right, all praises. Lord willing, you know, yeah, you know, it's bring out 1 Corinthians 1 and 3. It's like your 1 Corinthians 3 and 1.
Wait to see.
Yeah, 3 and 5. Except verse 5.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse number 5.
Go.
Who then is Paul and who is Apollos, but ministers by whom ye believe,
Right.
even as the Lord gave to every man. Verse number 6. I have planted.
Right, I have what?
I have planted.
I have what?
I have planted.
Go ahead.
Apollos water.
Right, I planted Apollo's water. Go ahead.
But God gave the increase.
Hey, God give it the increase.
Right.
Right? The seed is the truth. We planted. It's up to the Lord whether it grows or not. Bring out 1 Esdras 8 and 40. Can you bring out 2nd Esdras 9 and 30? It's like it's 2nd Esdras. Oh.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 9 and verse number 30. And thou spakest, saying, Hear me, O Israel.
Hear me who?
Hear me, O Israel.
Hear me, O Israel. Go ahead.
And mark my words, thou seed of Jacob.
Thou seed of Jacob. Go ahead.
For behold, I sow my law in you.
Right, and for the elect, hey, the seed is sown. You're going to grow. You're going to grow abundant. Go ahead.
And it shall bring fruit in you.
It's going to bring forth more fruit. That fruit belongs to the Lord.
That's right.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be honored in it forever.
And you're going to be honored in it forever. This is speaking to the elect. Because not everybody can receive the seed. That don't mean you're going to grow. Bring it out here. Second Exodus, chapter 8 and verse 40. And it reads, like as I have spoken now, so shall it come to pass. Right? For as the husbandman soweth much seed, as the husbandman sows much seed, go ahead, upon the ground, and planteth many trees. Right? And yet the thing that is sown good in his season cometh not up. Right. Neither does all that is planted take root. Neither does what? Not as all that is planted take root. So just because it's planted doesn't mean it's going to take root. Right? All of that is by the determination of the Lord, whether he wants you to grow or not. Somebody knows Middle East. You Muslim? Are y'all Muslim? Mansa Musa. Who's that? What's your religion?
Catholic. I believe that, yeah. I believe that Musa.
You're an Arabic Catholic?
Yeah.
Why you not Muslim?
We're born in Muslim. Arabic Catholic.
Muslim and Catholic?
Yeah, we're born there. We're born in Middle East.
Kind of lukewarm. Lukewarm?
Oh, when you lukewarm.
I mean, you in the middle.
We like everybody. How's that?
Are you Catholic? Muslim?
No, man, we both believe one guy. God, remember that. Who you believe?
What's the God in the Arabics?
God.
No, what's the name?
Allah.
Hold on, what's the God in the Catholics?
Allah.
No, that's not
Allah. Hey, listen. Why you only believe one guy? Remember that.
Catholics don't believe one God.
That's what we believe.
No, they believe in Trinity.
Oh,
The Trinity, three gods.
one God.
Nah.
The one God in the heaven.
Arabics don't believe. Hey, y'all don't know what's going on.
Wow.
He's living a lie, whatever. Man say he's Catholic. Hey, Esau did a number on him. Hey, brother, the mighty Afro, brother, elder. Bring it out, Proverbs 11:1. You heard about the Israelites? You heard about the Israelites? You just told y'all? Let me ask y'all a question. Are y'all black?
No.
No?
Pretty strong.
You black? Are you black? No. Are you African American?
No.
Are you African American? You African American? Are y'all niggas?
Niggers. Psych, no, I'm playing.
Wow. Please.
My fault.
Y'all not niggas. Y'all know bywords, right?
Yeah.
Y'all none of that. Right? But do you know why these derogatory terms were given to us? We're going to show you something. Bring out Daniel chapter 1, verse 5. Daniel chapter 1, verse 5, and it reads. Now Daniel is an Israelite. You understand? However, he went into captivity. And therefore, he had his name changed. Right? Because he had overlords over him. Right? So let's bring this out. Daniel chapter 1, verse 5. Daniel chapter 1 and verse 5, and it reads thus.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Go.
And the king appointed them a daily provision,
Right?
of the king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourishing them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king.
Go ahead.
Now among these were of the children of Judah.
Of the children of who?
Of the children of Judah.
Right, you had 12 tribes. Right? That's the children of Israel. They're of the children of Judah. Go ahead.
Daniel.
What's his name?
Daniel.
Daniel. Go ahead.
Hananiah.
Hananiah.
Mishael.
Mishael.
And Azariah.
And Azariah. These are Israelites. That's their God-given name. Make sense so far? Go ahead.
Unto whom the prince of the Enoch gave names.
Right, the prince of that land, he said, well, look, we're going to give y'all another name.
Right.
Yeah, we know you're Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael. We know y'all, we know that's your name. We got another name for y'all. Go ahead.
For he gave unto Daniel
right? He gave Daniel a new name. What did he give his name?
The name of Belshazzar.
Daniel's no more Belshazzar. It's like Daniel's no more Daniel, but he's Belshazzar. Go ahead.
And to Hananiah of Shadrach. And to Mishael of Meshach. And to Azariah of Abednego.
Abednego. They got their names changed, right? Because they were in slavery. What happened to our identity? Didn't it get changed? Because of what? Slavery. So the same things that happened to our forefathers, it happened again. So we're not black, African Americans, niggas, coons, whatever. They call us, that's not what we are. But how do we find out who we really are? Going to the Bible, right?
That's a fact.
This is the map.
That's a
right?
fact.
When you lost, you need maps, ways. This is our map, right? You got a precept? Bring out Jeremiah 17 and 4.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Bring it out.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance.
Are y'all listening? Can y'all come a little bit closer? I'm kind of walking by. Come close. We're not going to break through. Bring it out again.
And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance.
It's like even yourself, you're going to discontinue from your inheritance. Go ahead.
That I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies.
You're going to serve your enemies. And upon serving your enemies, what? Your name's going to change. You're going to adopt their ways, right? Go ahead.
Reading on, shall serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Why did the Israelites make the Lord so mad? What did we do to make him so mad? To the point where we don't know who we are. To the point where we kill each other. What did we do? That's the $1 million question. Now the Bible tells us, right? I'm going to show you. Bring out Deuteronomy. Yeah, 3 sentences. Bring it out. Is relevant?
In the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 11. Then shall they say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me.
Because your fathers have what?
Forsaken me.
Have what?
Forsaken me.
Our fathers have forsaken the Lord. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law.
And have not kept what?
Have not kept my law.
Have not kept what?
Have not kept my law.
We haven't kept the laws of the Lord.
Right.
That's why we're in this condition that we're in today. Right. Let me ask you something. Everything you're wearing, where'd you get it from?
The story.
Owned by who?
Person. Caucasian.
You agree? Y'all agree? Sure. Just asking.
Well, it come from a goat, right?
Well, who owns that goat?
People.
Huh?
A farm.
Right. Who owns these farms in turn?
Let me search it.
White people. So-called white men. Right? You're right. All right? Bring out Deuteronomy 28 and 47.
Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things.
Right? Because you didn't want to serve your Lord, your God, by keeping the commandments. What?
Therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies.
Now you're going to serve your enemies. For what?
Which the Lord shall sin against thee in hunger.
Right? In what?
In hunger.
In hunger. So when you're hungry, you go to who? So-called white man. Now you mean a house, baby. Y'all like Chipotle?
Never had it.
Well, have y'all eaten McDonald's? What's in your fridge right now? Where'd you get it from?
Grocery store.
All about who?
Company.
And who's the CEO?
Probably a white man.
More than likely a white man, right? Whether it be Kroger's, McDonald's, Texas State Brazil, Subway, Chipotle, all the so-called white men, they own that. So when you're hungry, you go to the so-called white man's company. And in thirst, right?
And in nakedness.
And in nakedness. So when you're thirsty, you get to Sunny, Sprite, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, beer, whatever. You go to so-called white man when you're thirsty.
Water.
Right?
Water.
All praise. And when you're naked, you go to the so-called white man, right? Who owns Adidas, Nikes, and all these clothing brands?
That's actually a fact, though, bro. Oh my goodness. Bring it up.
And in want of all things.
And in what?
And in want of all things.
But what else you can think of? You gotta go to so-called white man for.
Right.
Who owns Canon? Right, the cameras. Who owns these cars? See that?
That's what we owe. Let me start searching.
All praises. Hey, all praises. When we bring out this word, that's when you start igniting these thoughts like, what the hell happened? Why are we in this position? How did this happen? What does the Lord say about the truth? The truth shall show what? Bring that out. It's more than that.
All right, here, there's more on this too. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have what?
Until he have destroyed thee.
Who else had a yoke of iron? In other words, a chain of iron. What's the question for y'all, brothers? Y'all heard that? Who else had a chain of iron on their neck? Yeah, right? Everything we read, does it fit y'all?
That's a fact.
It don't fit the white man?
Oh, no.
Wait, it do? The white man is in that position? Exactly, right? Everything we read is so far, it fits y'all. It don't fit the Arab man. Not the East Indian man. It don't fit these nations. But it does fit us. That's the truth, brother.
Right, that's the truth.
You got it? You got it.
It's the book of John, chapter 8, and verse 32.
Bring it out.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
The truth shall make you free.
That's right.
This is the truth, brother.
Bring it out.
They lied to us for a very long time.
Bring it out.
They told you it was niggas. They told you it was monkeys. They told you it was gangbangers and crips.
That's right.
But the truth of the matter is, that's not so. Right? Y'all are Israelites.
Bring it out.
Who is Moses speaking to?
Israelites.
He's speaking to the Israelites. But don't we go through this? This is a prophecy that fits us. Go ahead.
I just read 48, 54.
All right, go to verse 54.
Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother.
Which group of people have an evil eye towards each other?
We do.
Right? You ever hear a rap song from a white person talking about killing his own people?
Yeah, but no.
I can't read it.
Memphis rappers, white, Caucasian.
All right, they little. I'm talking about industry rappers. Nah, none of them, right? So you ever seen a white person kind of do that to another white person? Nah, not really. But go down Rosa Parks Trans, and somebody
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Somebody just said to his brother, hey, let me hold the chain. Give me a chain. The point of the matter is we got to equalize towards each other, right? Where, in other words, you got ill intentions towards them, right? You envy, you hate them for no reason. That's our people. They give that stick eye. And who's known for killing each other the most over nothing, over stepping over a shoe. A white man step on another white man's shoe, say, hey, sorry, buddy, keep it moving. I step on a brother's shoe, hand right there.
Rich J's.
It's my J's. Over shoes?
People fight over hoods,
That's a fact.
and they wind up going to the same jail.
Yeah, nowadays, mostly the grave, but yeah.
Yeah. Either grave or in jail.
They kill each other over different hoods, but they still going to the same location, prison, or in the grave.
Or a rapper, but yeah.
That's right. So the point of the matter is, everything we're bringing out applies to y'all, making y'all Israelites. So knowing that you're an Israelite, what's next?
Development, man. That's next. Development.
development.
How do we develop? We need a PowerPoint, a flow chart, a dream chart.
Money.
Money.
Take over everything.
Take over everything.
Yeah.
What's happening to the dollar in America?
I heard about that. The currency is, what was it? Yeah, that's what it's doing.
So money means nothing now, right? Like,
Yeah.
money really has no true value. Green paper has no value. So if you throw money out the idea box, what's next?
That is off the picture. Intelligence, I guess.
Intelligence? Okay. You're not too wrong. We went over it, but I'm asking again. How did the Israelites fall short into serving God?
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4, it reads, 11 to 16. Book of Jeremiah. Chapter 11 and verse 16. Wait, I think it was 16 and 11, my bad. It was Jeremiah 16 and 11. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 16 and verse 11. Go. Start at 10, I can too. It reads, and it came, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt show this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore have the Lord pronounced all these great evils against us?
Right.
Or what is our iniquity? Or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God?
What did we do in the eyes of the Lord for us to be in this hill? Go ahead.
Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me.
Because your fathers have what?
Forsaken me.
Right, so again, this is the reason why we're in the condition we are. Because our fathers have forsaken the Lord.
Saith the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and served them, and worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law.
And have not kept my what?
My law.
And have not kept my law. Y'all know any laws according to the Bible?
Maybe some of them, yeah.
Okay, so few.
Lie, they'll not lie. Cheat, steal. I can't get all of them on top of my head.
What about what we can and can't eat? You know the Lord commanded that we can't eat certain things and we can't eat certain things.
I just got to stop being important last year.
Oh, pretty much. No. Are y'all brothers?
Yeah.
You the oldest?
No.
Are you the oldest out of them?
Yeah.
You want to tell me something? Y'all love God? You love God, brother? What does it mean to love God? Bring it out first now. I want to show you what it means to love God. Y'all had girlfriends, right? You show them that you love them, right? You just say you got to show it, right? So if you say you love God, you got to show it, right? All right?
It's the book of 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3.
Go.
For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
That we what?
That we keep his commandments.
That we keep his commandments. That's how you show that you love God. Right? Does that make sense? So bring out Leviticus 11 and 7.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine.
And the what?
And the swine.
Swine is pig. Go ahead.
Though he divideth the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
He is what?
He is unclean to you.
Go ahead.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat. And of their flesh shall ye not eat. Their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you.
Right. So you heard that, brothers? So would you continue to eat pork after the Lord said don't do it? All right. You know, now if you see him, you gotta say
That's
something.
That's a fact. They're gonna get pieced up for sure.
Bring out Leviticus 5 and 1. in the spirit.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Nope.
I hate when they stick together.
Now, have you ever heard somebody say, "Oh, stitches get stitches"?
Snitches get stitches.
Yes, get stitches.
I was raised by that. for
Don't
sure.
tattletale, don't rat.
That's a fact.
That's what the Bible says.
They be sticking together by this being combined.
Got Leviticus 5:1.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Nope.
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness.
If a soul what?
And if a soul sin.
If he's what?
If a soul sin.
We gotta pause. What's sin according to the Bible?
I'm following the commandments.
And by
This is the book of 1 John, chapter 3 and verse 4.
Nope.
Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
Not following the commandments, like you said. That's what sin is. So you can bring back to Leviticus 5 and 1.
In the book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Nope.
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing,
Right.
and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Right. And that's bringing brothers keep. Right? You don't want your brothers to be destroyed by the Lord, right? Hey, so if you love them, you gotta say something. So if y'all in sin, hey, and he gets on y'all, you gotta accept that rebuke. You gotta be humble and say, okay, you're right. Because what you're saying is really what the Lord said. He's not your enemy because if he were to tell you the truth. Let's bring it up.
Verse 2. Or if a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass or an unclean beast.
Hold that. Go back to Leviticus 11 and 7. It says a carcass or an unclean beast. Right? Specifically what? Pork. We got to prove this again.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
Right?
Verse number 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Of their what?
Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Go ahead.
And their carcass shall ye not touch.
So if you see them touching a carcass of a pig, bacon, whatever, and they're eating it, hey, don't you love God? And if they say yes, you gotta say, hey, put it down.
Sparks a fact.
Go ahead.
We'll start from the top of verse 2. If a soul touch any unclean thing, whether it be a carcass of an unclean beast, or a carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creepy things, and if it be hidden from him, he shall be unclean and guilty.
Guilty. Y'all like shrimp, crab, and lobster?
Hell no. That shit over sit right on my stomach, bro.
Same thing applies with shrimp, crab, and lobster. You can't get mad at your brothers for getting on you if that happens.
I don't remember last time I ate none of that.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17.
Go.
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
And y'all get into it, right? Everybody, y'all may get into it, like argue, whatever. Does that ever happen?
Mostly every day.
Okay, see, so it happens sometimes here and there.
For sure.
So I can only imagine how much more if you tell them, hey, don't eat this, don't eat that. It makes me feel it's like annoying. But hold up. Y'all said y'all love the Lord. If you love the Lord, you'll accept that correction, which we'll get in a minute. Go ahead.
Right. Programming, man. That's rebellion.
Get what you got, you got it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart, and thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him. So yeah, if you love your brothers, hey, if they not keep the commandments, especially after the commandments that I don't want to teach, I gotta get on each other.
When you get to a certain age, man, they just stop listening to you, bro. You know, puberty. Well, Galatians 4:16. If they don't see no logic behind it, man, I can't keep telling them. Like, you know?
Okay, we got you. Sometimes, you know, the Lord has to intervene.
That's a fact.
Because y'all got one dad, right? Yeah. So, you know, if your dad tell y'all to clean up, and, you know, you see him not cleaning up, what you going to tell him? Hey, dad said clean up.
Right, that's a fact.
What you think is going to happen if he don't clean up? He's going to get his ass beat, right?
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to see your brother get his ass beat. That's evil.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So y'all going to say something to him out of love. You don't want him to be in danger. That's what we do with our brothers. That's what we do with y'all. Go ahead.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4 and verse number 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
They hear the truth, man. They be getting mad and frustrated.
Be honest, you all get mad and frustrated.
Yeah.
Be real. You can be real.
Yeah, you humble. He humble.
You get frustrated. Brother, you can be honest, brother. You don't gotta, brother, be real. You know.
Happen.
Okay, it's happen.
Especially dude right here.
Oh, that's
Look at here.
oh, brother. I see him.
Yeah, he not listening, man.
All right. That's all right. Y'all can relay it back. Bring out Sirach 20 and 1. Came out of nowhere.
There is in the book of Sirach, chapter 20, verse 1, there is a reproof that is not comely.
Reproof is correction. Sometimes there's a certain correction that's not always beautiful. He may say, hey, put the pork down. What are y'all doing?
Right.
You know, it may seem aggravating, but so what? Go ahead. And real quick, that's better than the Lord coming down and telling you, put the pork down. That's a lot more scary.
Imagine if it really happened. Oh my goodness. Put the pork down.
You'll be scared. You'll be shaking in your boots.
I'm sorry.
Can you bring out Job 40 and 1? Guess what happens when the Lord intervened? This is what this man said. Job chapter 40, verse 1. He was complaining. He really wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. Hey, the Lord kind of intervened. And this is what happened. This is the account in Job chapter 40, verse 1.
The book of Job, chapter 40, verse 1.
This book of Job, chapter 40 and 1. Moreover, Yahweh answered Job and said, shall he that contendeth with the Almighty,
What did it say?
shall he that contendeth with the Almighty instruct him?
Hey, imagine the Lord saying that to you. Go ahead.
He that reproveth God, let him answer it.
So if you feel like you're above that correction, hey, you might as well speak to the Lord. Tell him, hey, these laws aren't good for you. Go ahead.
Verse 3. Then Job answered Yahweh and said,
Hey, guess what he said? Go ahead.
behold, I am vile.
Hey, he said, I'm vile, I'm nasty. Go ahead.
What shall I answer thee?
What shall I what?
What shall I answer thee?
What shall I answer thee? Go ahead.
I will lay mine hand upon my mouth.
Can you bring out Sirach 5 and 12? He said, I will lay my hand upon my mouth. I can't say nothing to the Lord. Right? Y'all listening? Bring this up.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 12. If thou hast understanding, answer thy neighbor.
Right.
If not, lay thy hand upon thy mouth.
Hey, Job laid his hand upon his mouth. He couldn't answer the Lord. Right? So, you know, it's better to have your brothers correct you than the Lord correct you. Because when he corrects you, y'all heard that?
Come on, put that on the shirt. Like,
Hey,
right here.
we're willing to get some fringes on it.
Yeah, that's right. Where to get them from? Where I get them from?
We got you. We got
That's
you.
a bad. I lay here, please give me one.
We got you.
Wherever it's tomorrow.
Brother Zealous. Brother Zealous.
Hey, glad we
Put the most out here.
Can you bring out Sirach 36 and 16? Can you bring out Sirach 20 and 1 again?
Make sure it's black though. Black. Like a black one.
All right, we got you. Full with it.
There is a reproof that is not comely. Again, some man holdeth his tongue and he is wise.
You better off holding your tongue like Job did. Right? Hey, you got it. You right. That's being humble. Y'all say y'all had girls, right? Imagine if your girl just always talk back, claiming, like, quiet.
Go home.
Hold up. Hold your tongue. Y'all dealt with that before. It's annoying, I'm sure. I got dealt with that. A clamorous lady. Hey, guess how you are to the Lord? If you don't want to keep mad, it's clamorous. I don't want to do that. I don't feel like that. I don't know about it. Same spirit. Go ahead. That's fine. You bring that up here.
The book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 6. Shoot new signs and make utter strange wonders.
It's like Sirach 6 and 36. What's this about? Book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 36. So everything that's coming out is thus saith the Lord. Can you bring out Proverbs 30 and 3? Proverbs 30 and 35. Yeah, 30 and 5. It's like Proverbs 30 and 5. You got it.
Book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 36. And if thou seest a man of understanding,
What did it say?
if thou seest a man of
If
understanding,
you see a man of understanding or trying his best, go ahead.
get thee that times, it's like get thee times unto him.
Get close to that man. Y'all got brothers or friends, right? Do they ever actually read the Bible? Do you fast? Do you study?
No.
Those not your friends then. They ain't your friends. You gotta get far away from them. They gonna lead you astray. You know what I mean? Of us die in the streets because of the lack of wisdom. Because of the lack of scriptures. Go ahead.
And let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Go ahead.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord, and meditate continually in his commandments.
You gotta think about the commandments.
Right.
And once you get delivered out of that big situation, you start thinking about the Lord and what He did for you. And you start thinking about the commandments. Dang, that delivered me. The Bible's delivered me. That's deep. You got it, God. Proverbs 30 and 5.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 5.
No.
Every word of God is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in Him.
And He's a shield. You ever got in a fight before? Did y'all cause that fight?
I sure did.
What's going on? There's a controversy. Did y'all cause? Y'all can be honest. We're not gonna. Oh, we was worse. Yeah, we was worse. Certain brothers is killers, adulterers, way worse. But the Most High kind of, gave us a new script. They gave us a new page. We're thankful for it every day. So if somebody's trying their hardest, trying their best to guide you through the Spirit, I will listen to that man. We didn't have all this guidance before. This for you too, brother.
You know you Judah already.
Okay, all praises. All right, so we're waking up through the Spirit. All right, this is for y'all as well. If you're doing anything else with our day, playing 2K, trying to get women, trying to be wicked.
Working out, man. Gotta get my body right.
All right. We got a few more for y'all. All right, you can bring out Proverbs 15 and 1.
Book of Proverbs, chapter 15 and verse 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger.
All right, so, not to say your brother's always going to be right, but, in the times that he may be right, sometimes you got to give a soft answer. Kind of say it is what it is. Okay, kind of right.
You got the logic behind what I'm saying.
Now, if he's off at certain times, then you got to say something to him.
I'm gonna be off. I don't really be off.
We'll will it. We'll will it. All right, so does everything make sense so far?
For sure.
I got a question for y'all. What's your nationality? All right. I gotta tell that man too.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for him.
One day at a time. One day at a time. All right. But y'all are Israelites, right? Y'all know Caesar?
Absolutely not, but I need one.
You need one. Bring out 1537.
Book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 37, it reads, And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
A what?
A ribbon of blue.
Right, so your fringe can be any color. Some brothers may have black, gold, white, yellow, green, burgundy, orange, whatever. The fringe itself can be any color. Now as for the border, it has to be a ribbon of blue. Right? It has to. The Lord gave us this for a reason. Let's find out the reason.
Reading on. And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Lord, and do them.
And what?
And do them.
And do them. So when we wear our fringes everywhere, not in the shower, of course, but outside of that, when we wear them everywhere, we look upon them. Oh, I gotta keep the commandments. It's Sabbath day. Feast days coming up. Oh, I gotta love my brothers and love myself. Oh, I gotta love the Most High. Right? So on and so forth. And all the other commandments that follow after. Brother got a precept. You want to be clean in the eyes of the Lord, right? You can be physically dirty, but you can also be spiritually dirty. Like your heart is dirty. Your mind is dirty in eyes. You think you lose thoughts. You're touching yourself. You're breaking yourself at night. Just going to town on yourself. To whoever who may apply, but you may eat, think evil things. I hate this brother, I hate this nigga. I'm gonna get in her pants, whatever. Those are evil thoughts, right? That's a dirty heart. Go ahead.
Real quick, how old are you? 17, 14, 20, man. Watch it.
Yeah, I learned about this stuff when I was 16. Yeah. I know about it. Did I ever look into it? No. But now I know. Man's going to the Lord.
That's a fact. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 119, and verse number 9.
Nope.
Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way?
How can a young man cleanse his way and turn a new page? Go ahead.
By taking heed thereto according to thy word.
By taking heed to the word. Remember, the word is pure. We read that in Proverbs 35. Things that are pure can what? Purify you, cleanse you. So when it says in Ephesians 5:25, can you get that part? Sure. Ephesians 5:25. It's more than that though.
Verse number 10. With my whole heart.
With my what?
With my whole heart.
Go ahead.
Have I sought thee. Oh, let me not wander from thy commandments.
You don't want to wander from keeping the commandments. Trust me. Go ahead.
God. Verse number 11. Thy word have I hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee.
Some people remember gaming, cheat codes. Some people remember like credit card numbers, whatever, scamming.
Right.
Some people remember how to roll a blunt. And you got to remember how to keep the commandments and how to serve the Lord.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Verse number 12. Blessed art thou, O Yahweh. Teach me thy statutes.
He said what?
Teach me thy statutes.
He said, teach me thy statutes. Go ahead.
With my lips have I declared all the judgments of thy mouth. Verse 14. I have rejoiced in the way of thy testimonies. As much as in all riches, I will meditate in thy precepts.
I will what?
I will meditate in thy precepts.
Go ahead.
And have respect unto thy ways. Verse 16. I will delight myself in thy statutes. I will not forget thy word.
Do y'all respect Gucci Man?
I don't know what that is. All right.
Y'all know Gucci Man.
Gucci Man?
Y'all respect Birdman, Lil Wayne?
Everybody like respect.
Like, do you reverence him when it comes to wisdom and knowledge? Y'all like NBA Youngboy? Who your favorite rapper?
I'm talking about my boss.
Alright, brother, what's yours? No, Dirt.
I see where you go with this. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, so, you know, when it comes to these rappers, a lot of our people look up to them. A lot of the youth. They been respectful and be like them. Right, they have a strong influence. But you don't want to have a negative person influence. Right?
True.
Because that spirit will rub off on you.
That's a fact.
That's what we got to be careful to listen to as well. Talking about murdering and killing all day, you're going to get riled up.
Right.
I get riled up because of the beast, man. The beast be nice, man.
Oh, see, that's hypnotism. The hypnotism.
Okay.
They got you.
And witchcraft.
Yeah, that's witchcraft.
That makes sense.
But you gotta think about it. What makes it witchcraft, not only the beat, but when you hear the hook constantly getting put right there,
And you just keep saying it,
yes. And then you see people perform what they rapping in the hook.
and that's considered witchcraft.
Exactly. Remember that song from USDA, Go and Shake Your Butt, I'ma Throw This Money? The men throwing the money and the women shaking their behinds. They being hypnotized.
Never knew.
It's witchcraft. Wizards.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I call it
Right.
When Geeked Up be playing, we be out the party. That's the party over. They about to fight and shoot things up. As soon as the beat drop, it's time to go.
Oh my God, what's your necklace stand for? Like, what that mean?
Oh, this is an ephod. This is something that the priests, the Levites in the Bible, that they wore. So every single one of these stones, it stands for one of the 12 tribes of Israel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so a lot of the brothers you see out here are from the tribe of Judah. We got some Gadites, Mayas, Gad, Northern Kingdom.
Right. Where can I get one of those from? Do y'all like got them or like do y'all like book bag?
Yeah, some brothers make garbage. Like, we can give you that hard information. Yeah, we do that. Yeah, we got a lot of them at the crib, like a lot.
You got dust on it?
Dust on it? Oh, mine's not.
Yours don't. Okay.
No, Bobby's got dust.
They don't got Bibles.
It probably it got dust.
I don't think they got Bibles at all.
We got a little bit.
We got Bibles.
I don't got, you know, bring out Matthew 18.
Yeah, we got Bibles for y'all.
We're not out here to kind of wail on y'all and beat y'all up. You know, this is all love. And, you know, you can be real with us. I mean, you looking at brothers that was in far worse conditions.
That's a fact.
That was in the slums and the trenches. Just wicked.
I was before, man. I had to change my life, man.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 18 and verse 1.
No.
At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily, I say unto you, except ye be converted.
Unless you what?
Except ye be converted.
Like I said, I had to change my ways. Unless you be converted, go ahead.
And become as little children.
And become as little children. You can't jump in the time machine and be a kid again. But you can subdue your ways to the Lord and refresh them. As the kid's mind is fresh, so does yours. Right? So go ahead.
Except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
You ain't going to see the pearly gates. Can you bring out James 5:16? And that means you got to confess your faults. You don't got to be directly to him. You can be to the Lord. Preferably, it'll be wise if it be somebody close to you. Right? Not a worldly person. I would suggest your brothers. Hey, you said it. Jay.
It's the book of James, chapter 5, and verse 16. Confess your faults.
What did it say?
Confess your faults.
And we confess our faults amongst each other. Right? So whatever you think you're ashamed of, nobody will be like, ha ha, nigga, you did that? Make it. We don't move like that.
Yeah, I don't move like that.
That's not us.
Sure.
Go ahead.
It's the book of James, chapter 5, and verse 16. Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another.
And pray one for another. When was the last time y'all prayed for each other? Y'all pray for each other? And it's deep. You said what, King?
Not for each other.
Okay, well, see, so that's something that we can work on. Learn how to pray for one another. Pray for your brothers. Pray that we excel in wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's beautiful. So y'all can pray for each other. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That ain't soft, In the world, they teach us to be hard, thugs, gangster, kind of.
Man, they really be weak, man. I'm telling you, man. The press be crazy, man.
They be the weakest ones.
The book of James, chapter 5, and verse number 16. Confess your faults.
What did it say?
Confess your faults.
What did it say?
Confess your faults.
Go ahead.
One to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed.
That you may be healed. A lot of us are broken hearted. A lot of us got a lot of pain. They're hurt. We got to pray for each other, build each other up. Got it.
The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
It availeth much. That makes sense?
Well, repeat it.
Bring it out again.
It reads, the effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Right. The prayer of the righteous man is very effective. And it availeth much. The Lord is going to listen to it speedily, quickly. But he's not going to listen to you if you break the commandments. You got a piece of bacon in your tooth. Hey, Lord, help me out. He ain't listening to you.
Right.
If your parents tell you to do the dishes, and then you did it, and you asked for Xbox, he's going to listen to you. Give you the time of day. It ain't happening. Go ahead.
God, so a minute ago I asked y'all how old you are, because as young men, that's really what Satan is looking for. He's looking for that time to get on y'all, get y'all to go off and go against his commandments, right?
For the young?
Yeah, he try to go for you when you're young, right? But the Lord is actually looking for young men to be like, hey, no, look, I don't want to do that. I'm good on it. I want to serve the Lord, right? So I'm going to read a precept. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh. And thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right? So you want to remember that while you're young, the Most High, He's still recording all of that. So that's when you want to take heed to the commandments even more. Because Satan is going to try to hop on you when you're younger. You know what I mean? He's going to try to throw 15, nice looking girls at you.
He got me for sure.
When I was young. All over the place. He got me for sure.
That's good. That's mighty testimony, right? So a lot of women going to gonna try to come to you all.
Oh yeah, sure.
What y'all gonna do? You got some
Rejects.
Y'all say the same? If not, hey, again, you can be. Hey, we got this. This is the guide. This is the cheat code.
That's a fact, man.
You can be real if it's like, nah, I'm struggling with it, whatever. You know, well, we got some precepts for you. We got the scriptures for you. You know, the scriptures tell us how to deal with women as well. That's right. I'm gonna show you Sirach 6 and 7. Wait, I'm gonna teach you about one. Yeah. It's Sirach 6 and 7. Right. We go.
Chapter 6 and verse 7. If thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him.
Right, so before you even start talking to a woman, you gotta know what's righteous and what's not righteous. So you can make sure y'all on the same accord. But let's say you got to the point where you start studying and reading, you know what's right and what's wrong, and you want to speak to somebody. You gotta make sure that they on the same level. You don't want a woman that's wearing her pants all like this.
Gucci mouth.
Bring out verse 2 and 9. You don't want a woman that wears her dress up here. Do y'all? Be honest. Some people, yeah, I like butt. Well, other man looking at her butt now.
I'm more of a face guy.
Okay.
Let's have a okay.
There's a lot we want to touch on.
Book of 1 Timothy, chapter 2, and verse 9. You know? In like manner also, that women adore themselves in modest apparel.
And what?
In modest apparel. With shamefacedness and sobriety. That was braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array.
Right. They shouldn't be worried about the outward appearance before they focus on the inward appearance. Right. You see a woman got the braids. What's your name, brother? Oh, that's mighty name.
Oh, actually his name. Actually his name. What's your name? What's your name? What's your name?
What's your name, brother?
Jeremiah. Oh my.
Okay. What's your name, bro?
Hey man, let me. It's Darian, man. Darian. I wish it was like Ezekiel or like.
Okay, that's
What's up, Mikey?
yeah, you can change your name if you want. But nevertheless, you don't want a worldly woman. Right? You don't want a glamorous woman. Alright? You don't want a woman that's wearing a skirt like this. Just let me ask you something. Would you want your daughter to wear something like that? So why would you want your wife to wear something like that? Don't you want your daughter to be like your wife? Yeah. So if your wife dressed like this, your daughter gonna dress like that. So that's why we want our women to dress modest. Bring out some precepts. We got a lot. We can touch on that first. Then we're going to that word. Well, let's stay on flow. Bring that up first.
Okay. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 7, and verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of a harlot and subtle of heart. Now, basically, what they're saying is, brother, that woman that was wearing whore's clothes. You know what I'm saying? She had a subtle heart, meaning she was hardy, kind of hot, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Kind of leaning her neck to and fro. Can't no man tell me what. I'm a hot girl, the hot girl spirit, basically. That's what this passage is going into.
So you got a question? All right, we got you after this first. Don't forget this.
Now, not only did she have a subtle heart, it says she is loud and stubborn.
She is what?
She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house.
She in another man's house.
Yep.
See, lucky, lust.
You got it.
Bring it up, King.
This is the book of Sirach. Oh, that's question.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I want to know about tattoos.
Yes. We're gonna read this out and then we're gonna touch on that. All right.
Get this first.
Yeah, get that.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26, and verse number 22. And harlot shall be accounted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband.
See, that harlot is like spittle. Like spit. You care about your spit when you fall out your mouth? Damn. That's how a harlot is. Okay. She got a bad name. Oh, Riri coming to town? All the brothers know it. You don't want to. Yeah, that's just like a name. You don't want a woman every brother knows.
Everybody knows.
You show her a picture, hey man, I'm talking to this woman. Oh yeah, I know her. As soon as when a brother say, oh I know her, you feel hurt. What do you mean?
Man.
Why do you know her? How do you know her? Where did you know her? When did you know her? Right? So, how? But you can bring yours out. Because the brother asked about tattoos.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19, and verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
It's played upon tables. No marks, no tattoos of the dead. Can you bring out Exodus 20 and 1?
It's the book of Exodus.
Verse 3. But before we get to that, does that make sense? Y'all ever one tattoo?
When I was younger, yeah, for sure.
I think I did too when I was younger. But, you know, I never ended up getting it. And once I found out about the scriptures, I'm never going to get it.
Right, something just holding me back from not getting it.
So if he come home with a tattoo, what you going to do if he come home with a tattoo?
Man, he gonna flip like, bro, you was lying. Oh yeah, I'm not trusting you.
Hey, what you going to do to him if he come home with a tattoo? You don't care? Nothing?
Oh,
Leviticus 5:1 again. He's your brother. You love your brother, right? Hey, if my brother's slipping up, I'm gonna say, hey, brother, what you doing?
I got to read Leviticus 19 and 17.
like if I see you eating frog, bro, I'm on you, bro.
That's frog. People say it tastes like chicken. It don't.
Yeah.
Not everything tastes like chicken.
Right here, gang. Look,
That
right
probably
here.
tastes like
Unclean.
tastes like. I never had frog, so I can't really tell the story.
I never had it.
Leviticus 5:1.
In the book of Leviticus, chapter 5 and 1.
Y'all listen to Jeremiah, Isaiah, the PR. LeBron, go ahead.
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it,
Right.
if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
Listen to Isaiah. Read that again.
It reads, and if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he have seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity.
So if you see him come home with a tattoo, be like, what? And the Lord's gonna jam you up. Like, why didn't you tell your brother? I gave you wisdom. Likewise with you, likewise with him, so on and so forth. That's what it means to be a brother's keeper. You got Leviticus 19 and 17.
God, this is the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse number 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Thou shalt not what?
Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart.
Right, so if you see your brother in sin and you don't say nothing that you hate him, you always gotta say you hate somebody that mean it. Show it. Alright?
It reads, thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor and not suffer sin upon him.
And that rebuke may not be beautiful. It may not be pretty. So you
Something happening.
Hey, something happened.
Tragic.
Hey, look. So after we read that, we're gonna ask you again. If he come in the house with a tattoo, what you gonna say to him?
Absolutely nothing.
All right, there you go. All right.
Hey,
Hey, the Lord heard that. The Lord heard that. Yeah.
all right, you said it. All praises. You know.
Ask him.
What about you? Okay, all
Say
praises.
it. We want to hear words, bro.
I'm gonna get on.
Okay. There we go. Yeah.
Get on. All right.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 1. And God spake all these
Real
words.
quick, how many brothers is it?
6 of them. We got 2 older ones. They're like what?
Bring it up.
All brothers too. No sisters.
Oh, okay. Bring it up.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 20 and verse 1. And God spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make any graven image.
Any what?
Thou shalt not make any graven image.
Brother, what's that on your wrist?
You gotta say no, the spirit.
I'm about to get
hop on
Can I please get?
wait.
pocket.
In your pocket.
Hey, not in your pocket. Where's my lighter? Where's my lighter?
You gotta throw it, brother.
Throw it away later, man.
Nah, brother.
No. Hey, let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. You want to love God now or later?
Right now.
All right, then. What you gonna do with it?
Come on, brother. Do it for the
Come on,
camera, brother. Do it for the Lord.
Do it for the Lord.
40 on mine and
Well, that's not good enough.
Throw that in the
Throw it in
street.
the street, brother.
That's littering,
Throw it in the
man.
street, brother. That's right.
Okay, all $3 saved your life just now.
It just saved you. Bring it out, King.
In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 25, the graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire.
I already know.
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold.
Thou shalt what?
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold.
What's that on your neck, brother?
Yeah, what's
It's a
going on?
necklace.
What's
What's
on
on
it?
it?
You trying to hide your sin?
Oh, let's see that real quick. Let's see
You trying to
that
hide your reproach?
Is it a cross on it?
You gotta take it off.
Oh, you gotta know the cross.
Wait. Slacky. What you say, brother? You gotta take it off.
Hey, come here, sir.
Come here, Sheldon.
Come on.
That's Mike, man.
Love. Hey, all praise to the Most High, man.
What about the 6 star? What that mean?
The 6 star. That's a lily. That sends from the lily. That so-called pentagram.
Okay. Now where that? Got where that?
Where that?
Bet.
You got one. Brother got the lily.
Okay. You think I can have it?
Where that?
You know what? Brother gave it to me. I was
Hey, look at that.
Yeah, that's cool. You can do that. You can take the thing
I'm
off.
gonna take the little.
Yeah, you can really. You can just throw away the cross.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
all praise. All praise.
You take that off and put this on.
Can I bring? You get
Power to look.
Psalms 144. Can you go with that? Psalms. And 144. I'm gonna hold it, bro. Okay, that's 520.
This right here, this is the Lord's favorite flower. Look. So you just threw away something that he hated, you got something that he loved that he favored.
Thank you, I appreciate it. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, and verse number 24. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one prince, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
So that's the most favorite flower. You can like flowers in this thing, that's okay. That's right. You know, you can tell us that the world flowers are good. The Lord got a favorite flower. So where you got it, King.
Psalm 19 and verse 7. The law of the Lord is perfect.
It's what?
It's perfect.
And the law of the Lord is perfect. Go ahead.
Converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise simple.
Okay, so this word will convert your soul, make you have a new leaf. Alright? You used to gangbang, you used to swear, you used to just chase after women. Now you're not doing those things. That's because of the word. Has school ever taught you this?
No.
Politicians? Your doctors? Your uncles?
No.
Your hood friends?
No. The ones that change, yes.
Okay. You got that point. You got it. What did they tell you about the commandments?
Commandments. They got the list of commandments as soon as you walk into the church.
Oh, where?
Church.
The church. Are those Christians?
No idea. I just got the commandments. I don't know what it's just there.
It doesn't matter. 141. Psalms 144. 141 and 1.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 141, and verse 1.
Nope.
Yahweh, I cry unto thee.
Right?
Make haste unto me.
Make what?
Make haste unto me.
That's something you can pray for. Lord, make haste unto me. Lord, give me more knowledge. Lord, give me more wisdom. Lord, put in my spirit to read more. Go ahead.
Give ear unto my voice when I cry unto thee.
Right? You don't always have to pray for money. Right? You shouldn't be praying for women. You can pray for knowledge.
Right.
Go ahead.
Wisdom.
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice.
So even when you pray, that's a sacrifice unto the Lord. Go ahead.
Verse number 3. Set at watch, O Yahweh, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips.
Right. Keep the door of your lips. Because I'm sure y'all may have said idle words like wicked things, like nigga, or like, you know. In other words, like derogatory terms or words towards your own people. You can't do that no more. That's off. That's not loving your brother. That's not having your tongue seasoned with salt. Go ahead.
Verse number 4. Incline not my heart to any evil thing.
What it say?
Incline not my heart to any evil thing.
That's something, y'all listening, this is something that you really have to pray for. Lord, incline not my heart to any evil thing.
Right.
Don't make me go a luster. Lord, make sure that I'm going towards the right path. Go ahead.
To practice wicked works with men that work iniquity. And let me not eat of their dainties.
Right, and let me not eat of their dainties. So what's your nationality?
Israelites, man.
That's right, brother.
Before y'all go, can y'all name 3 commandments?
That you just learned.
Yeah, that you just learned.
Just learn commandments. The lie, cheat, or steal.
Well, those are commandments, but what are some that you learned right here? Because we brought out some. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Listening.
He is, for sure.
All right, okay.
Give me that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's my brother. That's my brother. That's my brother.
What I need?
Isaiah know it. Isaiah know it.
I know you know Isaiah.
Come on.
Who was it? I forgot Isaiah.
He heard it. I know he heard it. Ah, it's all good.
That's okay. We got you.
Read it again.
Yeah, we'll read it one more time for you. Numbers 15:37. Gotcha.
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 15. All right. And verse number 37, or verse 38, speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make them fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations, that they may put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
That's the ribbon of the whole.
What we got on our shirt, these fringes. Fringes. Hey, look, make sure they got a blue ribbon. All right, the fringes can be any color. They can be black, white, gold, purple, whatever. But they gotta have a blue ribbon. And the blue, it can be different. You got baby blue, navy blue.
Well, if the blue, what if it's a different color? What do that mean? Nothing.
That just means you're breaking the commandments. Keep the commandments. Just get the blue.
It's a bet.
Lord willing, brothers get a flyer for y'all. I sew fringes. This brother can do fringes as well. So that's a brother.
We got one more for y'all.
Like a number or something?
Bring it out. 2 Maccabees 7:1.
Book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 7, verse 1. It came to pass also that 7 brethren with their mother were taken and compelled by the king.
So hold on real quick. You had 7 brothers in the scriptures. All right, go ahead.
By the king against the law to taste swine's flesh.
Right, so this wicked ass king, he said, look, I'm going to make y'all sin by eating swine's flesh. Guess what one of the brothers said?
And were tormented with scourges and whips.
Right.
But one of them that spake first said, what wouldest thou ask or learn of us? We are ready to die.
We are what?
We are ready to die.
And that's what one of the brothers said. Right? We are ready to die rather than sin. So this brother's being an example to his other brothers. There's 7 of them. There's 6 of y'all. Go ahead.
We are ready to die rather than to transgress the laws of our fathers.
That's beautiful. So, you know, we got to be an example to one another, to our own brothers. So, you know, that applies to you, Isaiah, LeBron, Darian.
He was okay.
What's your nationality?
Israelites.
I got bad ears, huh? Israelites. All right.
All right, all praise.
Yeah. Okay.
Brother got a precept, y'all. Happy Mighty Day. Wait. Y'all buy that today?
Huh?
Did y'all buy that today?
Yeah.
Y'all heard about the Sabbath?
Sabbath? Bring that.
Sabbath day.
No, I did not. Reread it.
Oh, okay, we'll reread it for you.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 15. In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath,
Right.
and bringing in sheaves and lading asses,
Right, so people were doing work for the Sabbath day, man.
as also wine grapes and figs and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals.
Right, so they sold vegetables, they sold food. Right, go ahead.
Verse number 16. There dwelt men of Tyre also therein, which brought fish and all manner of ware, and sold on the Sabbath unto the children of Judah and in Jerusalem.
Right, so these wicked men, they sold unto the children of Israel. What's your nationality? Israel, right? So these heathen are going to sell unto you this day, but you have to deny it, because what? Go ahead.
Verse number 17. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do and profane the Sabbath day?
What'd he say?
What evil thing is this that ye do and profane the Sabbath day?
So it's evil in the eyes of the Lord to buy or sell on the Sabbath day, or to do any manner of work. That's evil. The Lord gave us one day to relax. So-called white man, when we work for him, he don't even give us a day to relax. He don't give us a long vacation. The Lord gave us one day to relax. Go ahead.
Verse 18, did not your fathers thus, and did not your God bring all this evil upon us and upon this city? Yet ye bring more wrath upon Israel by profaning the Sabbath.
You bring more wrath and destruction to your life by sinning, by profaning the Sabbath, even the Sabbath. So let's bring out one more Exodus 28.
This is just to show you how fervent and serious our men were about keeping the laws, right? Watch what Nehemiah did. Verse number 21. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lodge ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
What'd he say?
I will lay hands on you.
Hey, does that sound nice? I'm gonna lay hands on you. Yeah, that's a threat. I'm gonna lay hands on you if you break the commandments again. You said it earlier. It's gonna get tragic. If you're not keeping it, it's gonna get tragic. That's what Nehemiah is saying. It's gonna get tragic. I'm gonna lay hands on you. Go ahead.
From that time forth came they no more on the Sabbath.
Hey, they say, okay, you got it. You won. I'm gonna keep the commandments. So sin breaking is the Sabbath. Not, don't beat them up, but you got to tell them what it is.
Right.
So you got it.
Book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
To what?
To keep it holy.
To keep it holy. Go ahead.
6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy works. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work. Thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy maidservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within the gates. For in 6 days...
In 6 days, Sunday to what? Friday? Go ahead.
The Lord made heaven and earth, and sea, heaven and earth, the sea, and all of them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
And what?
And hallowed it.
And hallowed it. So the seventh day is a Saturday. That's the seventh day of the week. Even when you look at the calendar. Let's look at the calendar real quick. Like what? I never
Saturday. That's all you know. Okay.
What the heck is that? So I'll tell you right here. I got it right here for you. Bear with me.
That's why the so-called white man do everything on Saturday.
On Saturday?
Yeah. I'm a sneakerhead. Every time a shoe drop, it's Saturday.
That's a
Movie
fact.
drop Friday night.
Drop Friday night.
It's the seventh day of the week. That's Sunday down to Saturday. Saturday is the seventh day.
Brother got a quick point. A lot of people die and go to jail on the weekend. Yeah, because the Lord is jacking them up.
We look at the dates before they come out.
Right.
So what I do is, I add the money, take it off each check, and I know it's going to be extra $60 or $30 more over that shoe. So what I would do is have an estimate, $400. Make sure my daughter's kids' bills paid before I do it. Then I make that transaction for that shoe.
That's a fact.
That's wisdom. That's moving of wisdom. All right. So what's your nationality?
Israelites, man.
All right.
That's right.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Don't be safe. Be safe. Bro.
Hey, y'all got YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Hey, give me YouTube. Hey, somebody give me YouTube.
Hey, you get so hyped.
That made my heart.
Put me Charlotte. 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 Put me Charlotte.
Praise to the Most High, man.
I got his number.